There are many artists in the Pokemon TCG, and it's my goal to cover as many as I can, so I can help you, the viewer, determine who you should collect for your collection. Whether it be expensive or inexpensive, as long as it makes you happy, that's all that matters to me. Recently, my channel's been on a roll, so if you enjoy the content, make sure you leave a like on the video. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see reviewed next. Hey everyone! In this video, I'll be undertaking a huge task and talking about probably the best 3D graphics company in the modern Pokemon TCG. This would be Planeta. But Planeta does not make it simple for us as collectors. I think you've probably seen a Planeta card once or twice in your life. Let's take, this Mimikyu EX promo. I feel like a lot of people have probably seen this card once or twice in their lives, but you can clearly see the illustrator. It says Planeta, but what's it saying next to the word Planeta? That's the actual illustrator of the card. There are many illustrators for Planeta, and there are also different classifications for them. In this video, my criteria will be much different from any other artist reviews most likely. I'll be breaking down the different categories as such. Planeta and Planeta CG Works will be categorized together as the general Planeta artists, and the specific Planeta artists, which have specific names, will be listed in the specific Planeta part of the video. Anyways, here are my criterias for the video. General Planeta and specific Planeta. Alright, let's just get this started, shall we? Alright, let's start with our first artist, which is just listed as Planeta. Let's just go over their start and end quickly now. Planeta was an illustrator who got their start in XY Flashfire on May 7th, 2014, and illustrated cards until Sun and Moon Burning Shadows on August 4th, 2017. They illustrated 45 cards, and I would say that their defining characteristic of their cards that I see in a lot of them is a heavy use of shading. Something like their Golurk from Furious Fists has this really cool level of shading to make the Pokemon on the card pop. The impact of the fist slamming onto the floor is a really good touch as well, with all the debris flying everywhere. Another example of a Planeta card that we can look at is this really fantastic Giratina EX from XY Ancient Origins. This card has a supreme level of shading, and it does a fantastic job making Giratina almost look angular with those sharp edges, making the Pokemon look pointy and dangerous. It's a really amazing looking EX card, which might be one of my favorite regular EX cards from the XY era. Finally, for a regular Planeta, we'll look at this Lunala GX promo. Something striking about this promo is the Northern Light effect around all the Pokemon itself. I really like the expression of the legendary, with those shiny metallic effects. All the parts of this promo go together so well, which is a good reason to like the GX cards, as they just feel like semi-full art cards, which is really cool. Anyways, that was our first Planeta artist, but there is another general Planeta artist, which would be Planeta CG Works, which I'm assuming is the Planeta that works on the Pokemon Pocket game, because all of their cards are from Pokemon TCG Pocket. Some of these EX cards are actually quite dynamic, but let's look at their Gengar EX. The giant tongue with the psychic bubbles make for a very visually appealing and striking card. Next, let's look at their Blastoise EX full art. The colors on this card are really awesome. The shimmery border around the Pokemon makes it pop nicely, and the pose is just about as menacing as you can get with a Pokemon like Blastoise. And the background is really nice. It's this dark blue purpley color. But now, we'll talk about the specific Planeta artists. Alright, now for the hard part of the video. There are 7 named Planeta artists from what it looks like here. And all of them are active artists in the Pokemon TCG, except for one of them. Let's talk about the one who isn't active in the TCG right now, which would be Planeta Otani. Otani was only around for about a year, which is sad to see, but their very detailed 3D illustrations are seriously striking. Let's take a card that I picked up very recently, being this Melmetal GX promo card. Everything, from the reflective metal to the reflective golden parts, every part of this Pokemon feels very real. So real, it's almost scary, but it still certainly feels like a Pokemon. That's the kind of way that I would describe Otani's cards, which I think is really cool. They worked on 17 cards in their run in the TCG. If this Melmetal piques your interest, you should check out the rest of their cards, but we gotta move on to the next artist. Next, we'll talk about a brand new Planeta artist, being Planeta Saito, who I only learned about today. And thankfully I did, as it will probably be a recurring artist in the TCG's newest endeavor, Pokemon Pocket, only doing 6 cards for the newest set, Genetic Apex. Let's just pick their Zapdos EX full art, looking majestically off into the distance, but that deep amber background looks amazing, with the lightning crackling all over the place. Saito is a brand new artist, so I gave them serious props for that, and it seems like the poses of all the Pokemon in their cards is so captivating. I can't wait to see more from them in the future. Next, we've got another newer Planeta artist, being Planeta Hiragi, who only worked on 9 cards, but there are some that I actually quite like, such as this Regidrago V Sword and Shield promo. I like how this showcases how the Pokemon attacks, as I'm pretty sure it's the only time we actually get to see this in the TCG. I think that the Pokemon looks cool like this, and the rising rocks around the Pokemon certainly add to the vibe of it charging up this incredibly strong attack that it could use to do some ridiculous damage. I just think this is a really good representation of the Pokemon, and I think that Hiragi should totally get some more cards, as they have a good sense of showcasing a Pokemon's character. Now, we have Planeta Yamashita, who has worked on 26 cards since the set Fusion Strike. I actually want to talk about a card of a Pokemon that I feel like a lot of people probably don't like, being the Metacham EX Full Art from Stellar Crown. I just wanted to talk about the card because I really appreciate the background of this card, with those liney diamonds in the background, which are really cool. It makes the card stand out even though it is just a full art of a Pokemon that I know a lot of people don't like. Anyways, let's talk about another Yamashita card, being this really cool Noivern Sword and Shield promo. I really like how nice the model of Noivern looks, it just looks really clean. I like how the background is the sun rising because it illuminates the back of the Pokemon, and the idea of Noivern flinging rocks around with some kind of draconic power is a really good idea. Overall, it's a really nice looking V card, which looks pretty striking to me, personally. I think Yamashita has incredible potential, as they've worked on some full art V cards and some EX cards that I actually like from Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield, but I just need to see more from them. Now, we have Planeta Igarashi, who has been working on cards since Forbidden Light, and is still making cards to this day, with 50 cards as of now. Their cards are seriously awesome. I actually have a few Igarashi cards that I really do like a lot, but let's just choose something simple. I'll pick the Kingdra EX Full Art from Shrouded Fable. This is one of the best Full Art EX cards from the Scarlet and Violet era in my opinion, and I think those blue waves in the background accentuate the main Pokemon featured, which is Kingdra. The pose is dynamic, but also perfect for the Pokemon, being very eccentric, but also regal. I think that this is a fantastic Full Art, but Igarashi also has another really good Full Art Pokemon under their belt. This is the Lugia GX Full Art from Lost Thunder. I really love the pose that the Pokemon is in, and I'm sure other people like the pose too, as this card in its rainbow variant is the most expensive card in the set Lost Thunder, for a good reason. The Lugia looks huge on this card, with that wide open mouth and sprawled out hands. It's imposing, but also majestic, which is a perfect fit for a Pokemon like Lugia. Igarashi has worked on some really beautiful artworks. I'm happy to see them included in modern sets, and hopefully they keep working for the TCG from time and time to come. Now, onto our second to last Planeta artist, being Planeta Tsuji. This artist has been working on the TCG since Sun and Moon Unified Minds, and I'm pretty sure that they are the only Planeta artists to receive an alternate artwork card, which I think is really awesome. The artist has worked on 89 cards in their career as well. Firstly, let's talk about a card that immediately jumped out to me as soon as I saw it, being this fantastic Dialga EX from the Starter Deck Generations. I think this card is amazing. I think Dialga looks cool, menacing, and the draconic ball that is charging, releasing all that energy, is very eye-catching. I also really like its pose as well. It's dynamic, and it reminds me of some of those older EX cards that we would have seen in the XY era. And now we'll talk about the alternate artwork card, being the Trevenant and Dusknoir GX from Tag Team All-Stars, which is exclusive to Japanese, which is a really interesting thing that we never received this card. The lighting on this card is really cool, with that dim purple light erupting from the background, and these two Pokemon reaching towards the camera, with leaves and plants rustling in the foreground. It's a really interesting tag team Pokemon that wasn't really featured in a lot of places, but it's cool we got it anyways. Planeta Tsuji has made some really dynamic cards in their time making cards, and I really do like a lot of the regular EX cards that they've given us in the Scarlet and Violet era. They just seem to be the 3D cards that I'm more typically drawn to. Finally, we have the Planeta artist Mochizuki, who's worked on 147 cards, and only started illustrating cards in Sword and Shield Darkness Ablaze. That's a crazy portfolio for being such a recent artist, which shows a clear favorability towards this artist, and I can totally see why. I've scrolled up and down their page on Cerebi.net, and they have a super consistent portfolio. V cards, V-Star cards, EX cards, and full arts that I'm actually drawn to, with superior colors and poses. A really good understanding of how to make a Pokemon look special, as well as cool. I feel like I should mention this Raging Bolt EX promo 145. I really love how the pose of this Pokemon looks, even though its neck is contorted in a strange way,
And I also love the effects of the energy ball. The colors are amazing, and I think the promo is seriously striking and cool. But let's look at another card as well. Let's look at the Charizard EX Full Art from 151. This card is amazing. This pose for a Charizard works so well, and the Vortex background works perfectly in the card's favor as well. I think it's a really nice looking full art, not only for Scarlet and Violet, but also just in general. It's very, very nice. Finally, I'll talk about the Lugia V Sword and Shield promo 301, which I think looks amazing. That pose is imposing, with its arms extended all the way outwards. The water effects look like the water is bending to Lugia's will, which looks very nice. The Lugia V collection box is amazing, and I personally have a few of the boxes sealed in my room, basically exclusively for this awesome promo. I think it's amazing, and I think Planeta Mochizuki is a really phenomenal artist. Well now, how would I do a top 5 favorite cards for Planeta? How about for the artist with less than 40 cards, I talk about my favorite card, and for the artist with more than 40 cards, I talk about my 2 favorite cards. For Planeta Otani, I would say that Melmetal GX I talked about earlier is my favorite. That semi-realistic style looks so good on a Pokemon as lifelike as Melmetal, and the background has a wonderful set of colors to accentuate the Pokemon. Next we have Planeta Saito. I really love their Articuno EX full art. I think the dark blue background combined with Articuno's stare combines to make a very striking illustration. My favorite card from Planeta Yamashita is probably their Leafeon V Sword and Shield promo 194. I really love the sparkles around Leafeon, and the leaves flying everywhere is a great touch. I like the multicolored sky, and the Pokemon just looks just about as cute as it possibly could. I think it's a really good depiction of Leafeon, which I appreciate as a huge Leafeon fan. My favorite card from Planeta Hiragi would be the Annihilate EX full art. The background being this paint-like pink being mixed with a purple looks great, and the simplicity of the pose with the Annihilate is hitting just makes it a really perfect full art, and I think it's a wonderful looking card, 3D illustration or not. For Planeta, which is just the Planeta word, one of my favorite cards from them is 100% without a shadow of a doubt in my mind, the Ultra Necrozma GX Sun and Moon Promo 126. The pose of this Pokemon looks scary almost. I love how they went all out to make this Pokemon just look amazing. The gemstones crystallizing on the Pokemon's head to make it look dope, and I love how the different metallic parts of its body shimmer in the light. I think that this is one of my favorite Sun and Moon promos of all time. I also really love the Lunala GX I was talking about earlier. I think that the colors pop on the Pokemon so well, and the gold mixes super well for the blue in the background, with the purple all over Lunala's body. For Planeta Igarashi, I would say that one of my favorite cards from them is their Melmetal EX from Obsidian Flames. I really like how we get a small glimpse into what Melmetal looks like angry, and I think the expression is cute. I also like the effects all over the Pokemon, like the lightning from the Energy Ball. I think it's kind of funny how a Pokemon charging an energy ball has an attack named Full Metal Knuckle. Doesn't really make that much sense. My other favorite card from Igarashi is the Ultra Necrozma GX Gold card from Sun and Moon Dragon Majesty. I really love how the golden effects cast a shadow to outline the Pokemon, and the pose of Necrozma is quite striking, with its giant open mouth. I think that the gold cards from the Sun and Moon era were seriously hit or miss, but I think this one hit for me personally. Next, we'll talk about Planeta Tsuji. I really like their Necrozma V full art from Battle Styles. I think that the pose of the Pokemon is fitting for a Pokemon like Necrozma, and I think the purple black hole background with the orange and yellow swirling around it looks really nice. I think that the Necrozma is a really underrated Pokemon who needs some more love. And now that I think about it, he hasn't had a card since Battle Styles. Let's get this poor man in all art for the Scarlet and Violet era, please. Anyways, next I wanted to talk about the Zero Aura V full art from Chilling Reign. I think that the electricity in the background looks especially yellow, which is a weird thing to say, but I just wanted to point it out because it feels especially yellow in this card. Anyways, that deep purple and blue works so well for the light blue and yellow of the Pokemon. I think that Zero Aura looks menacing, with one arm up, and I just think that the full art is striking, one of those that stands out amongst a crowd, which is why I picked it out, I suppose. Finally, we'll talk about Planeta Mochizuki. I really adore the shiny Houndoom secret rare from Battle Styles. I think that the pose of the Pokemon is really nice, and I like how shiny the Houndoom looks. I think that the way that it stands in front of the glittery background and the light blasting from the background as well as it stands looks really well. My final favorite card from Mochizuki is the Lugia V-Star from Silver Tempest. I think that the pose of the Pokemon is really nice in the card, and I feel like this one is one of the first cards I think of when I think about Silver Tempest as a set. It makes me a little nostalgic, because I actually pulled the Lugia V alternate artwork out of the set, which makes this Lugia a little nostalgic to me by proxy. So Mochizuki, I thank you. And that was Planeta, a very daunting artist for me to cover. I think that Planeta has some really fantastic artists under their ranks, and I hope to see more of them all soon enough. So, anyways, when you look at 3D cards, and if you see Planeta, then you can determine which artist it is, and hopefully this video could perhaps help you appreciate the Pokemon TCG's 3D artwork a bit more. It definitely helped me. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you let me know down in the comments below. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you on the next one.